What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I made an update, and technically I made two of them. One never got published because last week I actually was sick. My son brought home some sort of booger whatever, and I was down for 2 days, but I feel much better now. And then I already tried to make this update, and all the files wouldn't transfer from my phone to my POS computer. So I'm gonna have to get that sorted out. We gotta get back to real edits. But we are stumbling through here, and I want to keep you guys up to date on the boom. So let me turn you around and show you guys what we got done. We got a bunch of stuff done, and we have some cool updates coming. So check this out. All right, first and foremost, we have the little Burndown box. So if you guys have been following along, I did post up on Instagram a bit, and this is attempt number 2, because attempt number 1 that I made, like a big dummy when I was drilling these holes, I drilled through the baffle portion. So I did think about just trying to plug it and call it a win and just be like, whatever, it'll be fine. But I could use the welding practice, so we made a whole new one. It is actually mounted and done. I made little rigs and standoffs, and then made the little wing guys here on either side. It is captured. Those are all welded. So this guy is in and done. These are actually AN fittings, and these are AN -12 little breathers. They came on those cheapy China cans that I had. I actually had one, and then I bought a second one basically just for the filter. And my thinking was, we'll mount it like this. It's clean and simple and easy. If it becomes a pain and doesn't really work, I can take this off, and then we'll run a hose just like we did here, down and out of the car if we get smoked out or whatever, and I'm inhaling too much E85 smoke, I guess. That brings me to this -12 dual feed in. I do have this baffled inside. We baffled a little bit different. I didn't take pictures of it, but I didn't go down quite as far because somebody actually commented, and they're like, man, if you take it all the way down, so we're not down quite as far, but it should be fine. This is just a little nylon braided hose deal, and then we ran it down and underneath the car. I'll see if I can put a picture of it up, but I wanted to share this with you because we've been getting all froggy with the 3D print stuff, and I saw this as an opportunity to make this, because I was just gonna like P-clamp it or whatever, but by the time you buy all those in this size and you mount them all up, I was like, you know what, we could solve that with 3D printing. So this is PETG. It should start melting around 150, maybe a little lower than that, it might distort. And then I have the threads actually modeled in here, which is, it's kind of like a natural nylock because it's kind of hard to turn anyway. And then I figured there's not a ton of load on the line, so we're going to see how well that works. And then just two quarter 20 little screw guys, and they're mounted pop, pop, pop. You can see the heads here. They're mounted up to the bottom of the car. And like I said, if I can put the picture up of it, I will. I had a whole video, but if I can't get it off my phone, there you go. So on this side, not sure if I shared this with you guys, but I got the regulator. Whew, look at that boy, still holding pressure. The regulator mounted. I ran this to the front, and then we kind of got sidetracked, but obviously this goes to the front. This guy's all wired and fired. Got to clean up a little bit of slop back here, but we'll get to it. I haven't zipped it up because we have some other stuff I think coming. I might have to readdress all that fun stuff. Sticking with the 3D print. I don't know if I shared this or not, but I'm gonna share it again. Bam! I made a little screen protector for the old 7-inch. Because I would just throw rags over it like that to keep the sun off of it. And you can see she's kind of whiting out because this thing lives outside. So I figured some cheapy plastic, put a little Malibu insignia on there, bada boom, bada bing, and then when this thing gets trashed or tore up, I think I'll probably have to make this out of PETG because this is just the cheapy material, the PSA. So this is probably gonna warp out and go to hell pretty quick, but I thought it was a good idea. It looks good, serves a purpose, and I was able to come up with that. Another new thing, bum, ba, da, bum, courtesy of my friends over at War Performance. I called them up. They are a big fan, especially Jason over there. He likes his BTR products. He runs these on the Z. I'm not sure if Joe has these or not, but my friend Phil on here actually sent me those fabricated valve covers, and there's a little lip on the inside they don't have, which kind of makes it a pain in the ass to put on and off, and they don't really line up very well. So I was kind of like, I don't know. And then the main thing was the breathers. I would have had to cut breathers in those ones, so we got rid of those ones and we traded up to these. So These have a baffle. You can pick it on either side, and then obviously put it on the front because the oil goes to the back. And then this comes all the way from the back of the car up underneath. And I chose to run this underneath because I figure if this thing puked for whatever reason and it did shoot molten oil through this line, I don't want that in the car. This line is water, so even if this popped, the chances of this being hot enough to really burn you too bad are probably a lot slimmer than oil coming out of the engine that's a couple hundred degrees, right? So we chose to just go under the car with that if there was an actual issue. And then again, one more thing too on these covers, they're technically one of the cheaper aftermarket covers, but the thing I like about them is you can take, I don't know if you guys see the bolts here, but like if I take this loose, you got a straight shot. So you can take this off and then your coils come off with it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it's just, you just leave them alone, leave them in place, and then if you take this off your coils, you just unplug it. So it's one less thing to kind of keep track of when you're working on stuff. So good job on Brian Tooley. And then if you put these on upside down, you look at it like I did and go, hey, this is kind of dumb, I can't get this stuff. And then you realize you have your coils mounted backwards. So we got that all done. And then this, again, I think I showcased this courtesy of War. They had this little block here and they sent me some Mac valve guys. So we got this in. I've got all the hard line made, so I didn't have to change anything. I just kind of took stuff, rerouted it. So our hard line goes down in here. I just, like I said, cut, rerouted, so we're all good with that stuff. So this thing is online, and then I've got my pressure coming in my nylon from the tank back there. Comes through here with the grommet, and then we've got everything all heat shielded, wrapped up, and I got it all tucked because we got some exhaust here. So that hopefully protects everything and keeps it alive. So my old setup was here, but I didn't want this second guy sitting over the turbo, so I figure we'd move him over here and keep him off the heat. So that is all the major updates that we've gotten done for the most part. So with those updates done and out of the way, I am checking off a list of things to work on the Malibu. We're looking forward to going to LS Fest West. It's the end of next month. We're running out of time this month, but I think what we're gonna do is kind of cap the upgrades for now, because the car should run, it should drive. We're evacuating this. We've got the oil situation hopefully straightened up. So basically I just need to test this thing out. So I think that's gonna kind of be next, is making sure the boost control works, making sure the oil level stays up. And then if we're gonna go ahead and test, what I really need to do is I need to have a license so we can go faster than 10.0. This car yawns out flat 10 passes because it's phenomenal, and we've been building up to it, but it is time that we put our big boy pants on and we need to go. And speaking of that, Ryan sent me he has some transmission parts on the way, so I'm actually putting a transmission together myself, and then hopefully the one that he built for me will show up before race week is kind of the plan. And then, like I said, I'll have a backup, which will end up in my wife's car at some point. But I'm hoping to have the one that I'm putting together myself functioning and working for LS Fest, because I'll have a trans brake, and then we can leave under boost and hopefully go a little quicker is the plan. So that is that. We were signed up for race week. I don't know if I said that on here. We were signed up for LS Fest West, and that is basically the majority of the events we're gonna almost be able to afford this year. And then yeah, so that's it. Lots of stuff, lots of work done. We're getting close to making noises and going again, and hopefully going on the track and having some fun. But I will say that this hobby, man, sometimes this thing lives on jack. I think it's probably spent more time on jack stands, I'll be honest, than it does actually moving around. So sometimes you just have to contain your crazy, kind of use what you have, realize why you enjoy it, and then just quit making that infinite list of upgrades that you don't technically really need to go have fun. So that's, I'm telling myself that, and then telling you guys that. So if you want a video, I'm actually inclined to do one, but if you'd like a video on the 3D print stuff I've been working on, I use Fusion 360. I'm stumbling my way and learning through that. And then I have an AnchorMake M5C that was like 300 bucks, and then they've come up with a few updates. There's a few hurdles when I started, but now the thing seems to be running pretty good, and now that I've said that, it's probably going to give me a host of trouble tonight when I go to use it. But if you want to video on my journey on the 3D print stuff, I can kind of incorporate that for those of you guys that are maybe interested in doing the same and printing out your own stuff. So that's it. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'm out.